Boost your English.
From English Podcast with John.
Hey friends, how are you feeling today? I'm so happy you're here at English Podcast with John. Today, we'll dive into how to describe your hobbies in English. Easy English podcast for beginners, and I'll guide you step by step so you can start using English confidently in your daily life. Let's take this journey together.
Welcome. I am really excited to get into this particular deep dive.
Hello, I am too. This is such a useful topic.
It really is. I mean, our mission today isn't just to give you a list of words. We want to show you how to build, complete and natural-sounding sentences when you talk about the things you love to do.
That's the key difference, isn't it? It's about communication, not just vocabulary.
That's right.
It's like if you know the parts, you can build the house.
Yeah.
If you know these rules for talking about hobbies, you can start a great conversation. And that's often the hardest part when you're learning a language.
It really is. Our goal is fluency, not just being correct. I mean, when we meet new people, one of the first questions we always ask is, so what do you do for fun?
Almost always. We want to give you the tools to answer that question with confidence and with detail. By the end of this, you won't just say, I like music.
Right.
You'll be able to say why you like it, when you do it, and maybe even where you do it, all in one smooth sentence. So we have three key rules we're going to unpack today, and these come from looking at how people really talk in English. We're going to start with the foundation, how to formally introduce your number one favorite activity. All right, so let's start with what we're calling rule number one, the formal introduction.
Okay.
This is the perfect phrase to use if you're, say, filling out a form or answering a survey, or if you just want to emphasize the one thing you love doing the most. The phrase is very simple. It's, my favorite hobby is.
What's interesting there is the word formal. Using that phrase, my favorite hobby is, it instantly makes the statement sound a little more serious.
That's a great point. How so?
Well, it signals that you're giving a very specific, considered answer. You're not just, listing things you kind of like to do.
Oh, I see.
Like if you're in a job interview, for example, and they ask about your passions, starting with, my favorite hobby is hiking, sounds really clear and professional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can think of it as like the headline for your free time. Now let's look at what comes after that little verb is. A lot of the time, the hobby is a thing, just a simple noun. For example, my favorite hobby is reading.
Right.
Reading here is the topic. Another one could be my favorite hobby is photography. Simple, clear, it works. But, and this is a really important but, what happens when the hobby is an action, something you do?
This is where it gets a little tricky for beginners.
It can be. Because this is where English has a little rule that we need to master right away. If the hobby is an action, we have to change that action word into a noun. And we do that by adding "-ing."
The gerund.
The gerund, exactly. It's such a crucial form.
It's sort of a linguistic shortcut, isn't it? You're taking the verb, the action, and you're making it work like a noun, like the name of the activity.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to put it. So let's take the action swim. We just don't say, my favorite hobby is swim.
Yeah.
It just stops. It sounds wrong.
It sounds unfinished, yeah?
So we add the ing. Now listen to the difference. My favorite hobby is swimming.
Much better.
It flows. What we're really saying is, my favorite hobby is the act of swimming.
And that rule works for almost every active hobby you can think of, right?
Pretty much.
If the action is to run, the hobby is running. If you love to draw, the hobby is drawing.
Yes. Or if you love what you're doing right now, your hobby could be listening to podcasts.
A great example.
So let's just take a moment here. I want you to practice this in your head. Think of an active hobby you love.
Yeah.
Cycling.
Okay.
Now, try to say it using this Rule 1 structure. Say it to yourself, my favorite hobby is, and then add the ing form.
So my favorite hobby is cycling.
Exactly. Or if you love to cook, you'd say,
my favorite hobby is cooking.
Perfect. Now, this structure is great for precision, but what if you have more than one interest? Most of us do, right?
Of course.
We don't want to say, my favorite hobby is this, my favorite hobby is that, 10 times. We need something a bit more flexible for just a normal conversation.
Right, something more versatile.
And that brings us perfectly to rule number 2, which gives us a lot more conversational freedom. Okay, rule 2. This one is all about using simple, strong verbs that show emotion right away. These are the words native speakers use every single day to talk about what they like. We're focusing on 3 of them: like, love, and enjoy.
The big 3. And they're so useful because they're They're not all the same, are they?
Not at all.
Like, as is just, a general good feeling. Love is much stronger. It's about passion. And enjoy. That one's more about the pleasure you get while you're doing the activity.
That's a fantastic distinction. So choosing the right verb can change the intensity of what you're saying.
Instantly.
Okay, so let's start with like and love. The easiest structure is just I plus the verb plus a noun. So for things, it's simple. I like coffee. I love art. But once again, when we follow like or love with an action, guess what we need?
The gerund, the ing form.
It's back. So for actions, you'd say, I like walking, or I love cooking. The pattern is the same. The verb walk or cook needs that ing to work smoothly. Now, here's a slightly deeper point. A lot of beginner classes don't really cover this. With like and love, you actually have two choices.
Oh, you mean the gerund or the infinitive?
Exactly. The infinitive, which is to plus the verb.
So you could say, I like walking, and also, I like to walk. And they're both correct.
Both are 100% correct.
Oh.
So what's the difference? Well, it's a very small difference. Some people say the gerund, I like walking, is more about a general, lifelong enjoyment of the activity.
Okay, so it's about the activity itself.
Right. Whereas the infinitive, I like to walk on Saturday mornings, can sometimes point to a specific habit or a routine.
I see. That's a subtle difference.
It is. So my advice for you, for now, is if you're describing your hobby, just stick with the gerund, the ing form. It's safer, and it's probably more common.
That's good advice. Keep it simple.
Exactly. So let's practice that. Think of something creative and say it with love. I love painting.
Or something physical. I love hiking.
Perfect. Now let's move to that third verb, enjoy.
Oh.
This one is actually easier to master
Oh. Why is that?
because it's less flexible. The word enjoy means you get pleasure from an activity. And the rule for enjoy is absolute. It always needs the ing form when you're talking about an action.
So no infinitive option here. No to verb.
No exceptions. None. The structure is just I enjoy plus the gerund. So going back to our example, I enjoy swimming. You must use swimming. You cannot say I enjoy to swim.
That's actually great for learners. It's one less thing to remember. Once you say enjoy, your brain just knows, okay, I need an ing next.
Yes, it's a non-negotiable rule.
So I could say, I enjoy listening to classic rock.
The perfect example. We use enjoy when we feel real satisfaction from something. Let's think of some other hobbies. What about quieter ones? You could say, I enjoy knitting, or I enjoy collecting old coins, or even I enjoy watching documentaries.
And what about something more technical?
Same rule applies. I enjoy coding. I enjoy restoring antique furniture. The rule is always, I enjoy plus the actioning. So by mastering Rule 2, you now have the basic sentence. You can say what you do and how much you like it with like, love, or enjoy.
But that's just the start, right?
That is just the start. A sentence like, I enjoy swimming is fine, but it doesn't really tell a story.
It doesn't invite a follow-up question.
Exactly. To make the conversation interesting, to sound really fluent, we need rule number 3, adding a few specific details. All right, rule number 3. This is really the difference between just making a statement and actually starting a conversation.
I like that.
We're going to add 3 kinds of details to answer the questions that the listener is secretly asking in their head. Questions like how often, why, and where.
The context.
The context.
Yeah.
Exactly. And putting these details at the end of your sentence will completely transform your English. So let's start with the first detail. Frequency. This answers the question, how often do you do this?
So things like every day.
Every day is a great one. But English has a whole range of words for frequency. Our source example gave us a really useful one. On weekends.
That's perfect for hobbies you do on your free days.
Right. But we could also say things like once a week or twice a month.
Or for different times of year, like in the summer or during the holidays.
Yes. And these time phrases usually go right at the end of the sentence. It's very simple. Let's try combining them.
Okay.
I love cooking after work, or I enjoy reading twice a week.
That feels very natural.
So let's use our swimming example with the phrase from the source. I enjoy swimming on weekends. See how easy that is to add. Now there is a more advanced side to this. Using single words like always, often, sometimes, or rarely.
Ah, the adverbs of frequency. And the tricky part with those is where they go in the sentence.
Exactly. This is a very good point. Unlike on weekends, which just sits at the end, adverbs like often usually go before the main verb.
So in the sentence, I enjoy swimming, the main verb is enjoy.
Right. So if we add often, it goes before enjoy. Listen to how this sounds. I often enjoy swimming on weekends.
Wait, But couldn't you say, I enjoy swimming often, with often at the end?
You could, yes. And people do say that in casual speech. But putting it in the middle, I often enjoy, sounds a little more fluent, a little more formal.
That's a good tip.
So for now, just remember the basic idea. Frequency tells us how often. Use a phrase like on weekends at the end for simplicity. Okay, now for what I think is the most important detail for a good conversation. Reason.
Answering the why.
Answering the why. Why do you spend your time doing this? People are always curious about your motivation, and the key word we use is
Because.
because. It's such a powerful little word. It introduces context. It turns a fact into a personal story.
It connects the action to your feelings.
It does. The structure is your hobby sentence, because your reason. Now, our source material gave a brilliant, simple reason that you can use for any physical activity. It keeps me healthy.
A great all-purpose reason.
So let's put our pieces together. We have the feeling and activity, I enjoy swimming. We have the frequency, on weekends. And now the reason, the full sentence is, I enjoy swimming on weekends because it keeps me healthy.
And that's a fantastic sentence. It's got everything.
It's so smooth, isn't it? Feeling, activity, frequency, and motivation.
And because can be used for so many other reasons, not just health.
Oh, absolutely. Let's think of some others. What about reasons for your mind, for emotions?
You could say, I love painting because it is relaxing.
That's a good one. Or, I enjoy cycling because it clears my mind. That's a great phrase. It means it helps you stop thinking about your problems.
What about social reasons?
Good idea. You could say, I like playing board games because I can spend time with friends.
Or, I enjoy volunteering because I like helping people.
See, this detail is so important because it shows the listener you're thoughtful. It really opens up the conversation.
It gives them something to ask about next.
Right. Let's do a quick practice. Think of a quiet hobby you have. Maybe listening to music. Why do you do it? Try to say it to yourself. I enjoy listening to music because, and then add your reason. Maybe it's because it inspires me or because it helps me focus.
I enjoy walking because it is relaxing. That's a true one for me. And sometimes you can use a slightly more formal phrase like in order to.
Oh, that's a great point for more advanced learners.
Yeah, you could say, I practice yoga in order to reduce stress. It means the same as because, but it just sounds a little more sophisticated.
That's excellent insight. For now, we'll focus on because as our foundation, but that's a great next step for people to remember. Okay, on to our final key detail, and this one is often the easiest one to add. It's the place.
Answering the question, where do you do this?
Exactly. To talk about location, we use those small connecting words called prepositions, usually at, in, or to.
And choosing the right one can be tricky.
It can. There are some general rules, though. We usually use at for specific places, like a building, at home, at the gym.
Okay.
We use in for bigger enclosed areas or natural spaces, in the park, in the mountains.
And what about to?
We usually use to when we're talking about movement towards a place, like I go to the library.
Ah, I see.
So let's try to build our sentence with all the details, including the place. Let's switch to a different hobby. How about reading?
Okay, reading.
So the basic sentence is, I love reading.
Simple enough.
Now let's add the place. Where? How about, I love reading at the library.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now let's add the frequency. How often? I love reading at the library every Saturday morning.
Getting more detailed. I like it.
And finally, the reason. Why?
Oh.
I love reading at the library every Saturday morning because it is quiet and helps me concentrate.
Wow. Now that is a complete sentence.
Can you hear how that flows? It's descriptive, it's rich with information, and it sounds completely natural. This is the goal.
It really is about the logical order, isn't it? You start with the main idea, I love reading, then you add the where and when, and you finish with the personal reason, the why.
Exactly. It builds up beautifully. Okay, let's go back to our main swimming example one last time. I want everyone listening to build it with us. So say it slowly with me. I enjoy swimming on weekends because it keeps me healthy.
Got it.
Now let's push it one step further. Let's add a location. Let's say you swim at the local pool.
Okay.
So the full ultimate sentence would be, I enjoy swimming at the local pool on weekends because it keeps me healthy.
And that's it. That's the blueprint.
That is the blueprint. You've moved from just a single word to a whole conversational idea. That's a huge step.
And once you've really mastered that structure, you can even start to play with the order a little bit for emphasis. But the standard structure we just practiced, that's your key to success.
Okay, let's do a quick review and summarize the powerful tools you've learned in this deep dive. You now have 3 key rules to talk about your hobbies like a pro.
Let's hear them.
Rule 1. For your single #1 activity, you can use that formal structure. My favorite hobby is, and remember to use the ing form, the gerund, for actions like, my favorite hobby is painting.
Clear and formal. Got it.
Rule 2. For more casual conversational talk, use those great verbs like love and enjoy. And we learned the super important rule for enjoy. Always follow it with the gerund. I enjoy hiking.
Right. No exceptions for enjoy.
And rule 3. To make your conversation really interesting, you need to add details. We broke this down into 3 parts.
The where, when, and why.
Exactly. First, frequency, answering how often. Use phrases like on weekends or adverbs like often. Second, reason, answering why. Use that magic word because it keeps me healthy, or because it helps me focus.
The most important part for the conversation.
I think so too. And third, place, answering where.
Yeah.
Using prepositions like at the gym or in the park.
This really gives you more than just sentences. It gives you a full architecture for talking about your life. The key now is just to practice.
And your practice starts right now. We really want to hear from you. This is your chance to use what you just learned so it sticks in your brain.
Absolutely. The best way to learn is to do.
So if you're listening, please write a simple comment below. We want you to try to use the structures we learned today. Just tell us 3 things. Your name, where you are from, and 1 complete hobby sentence using at least one of those details.
Keep it simple. Just focus on the structure.
Exactly. For example, you could write, my name is your name. I am from your country. I love playing the piano at home because it helps me relax after work.
That's a perfect example. It has everything.
Following that pattern will force you to remember the structure, the gerund, and how to use because. It's the best way to start using this English with confidence.
We really appreciate you joining us for this. Remember that every time you use a new structure like this, you're not just speaking English, you're building a new skill.
That's so true. And don't forget that practice also means listening. Try to listen to English every day, even just for a few minutes. It trains your ear and helps you remember the natural rhythm we talked about today. And as a final thought to explore on your own, think about how you would describe a hobby you want to start, not one you already have. How would you change these sentences? That's a little challenge for you. Goodbye, friends. I am John. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep enjoying your wonderful hobbies.
Goodbye, everyone. I'm Sarah. See you next time.